Welcome to season 2 of the Fit to Love podcast show. Welcome to Fit to Love, Movement Mondays, all about exercise, all about movement, all about you. Enjoy the show. Having a hard time losing weight and can't figure out why? Did you know there are 7 factors that contribute to weight loss resistance? Come on over to fittolove.tv/quiz and find out if one of those factors is sabotaging you. Today's show, proper form for a jab in boxing. I think boxing is a great upper body exercise for everyone, even you ladies. I've worked with so many women, even people who are sedentary from the waist down, and gotten them to do some boxing. And most women will say to me, especially the older women, will say, "Oh, but JJ, I'm not violent." And I said, this has nothing to do with violence. This has to do with hitting something. And all of a sudden, when they take the wraps and put the gloves on and then learn to strike something, there's a freedom that comes with it. I can't tell you what it is, but it helps to let out some anger. So if you have any anger that you're working through, or even if you don't, boxing is a great emotional release as well as great exercise, provided that you do it with proper form and discretion, because it can hurt you. So in boxing, there are 2 moves that are called like a 1-2. Like a 1-2 punch, right? And the first one is called a jab. So we're just going to cover the jab today because I feel like the jab done incorrectly can help to sort of tweak your shoulder joint. And there, I think that people get this misconception about boxing, like you have to have really big arms to hit really hard, and that's not true at all. The power in both boxing and kickboxing comes from either your torso or from your hips. So in the boxing case, in order to produce force, you're going to be using your rotation of your whole torso. Now, a jab in boxing is like the moving punch. If you've watched boxing ever, you notice that they move around a lot, right? And so it's a setup. A jab is a staccato, short, powerful, but not a takedown punch. I mean, it probably can be, but it really isn't designed. It's designed to be a moving punch. And so it'd be something that I'd be defending myself, or it's something that I'd be moving somebody to prepare them for the cross, which we'll cover next week. So a jab. You're going to start with your feet on a wheel. Let's say, pretending you're on a clock. You're going to have your feet around 11 and 5, all right? And the foot that's forward is the hand that you're going to jab with. So remember, it's not about, see this? This is like me trying to punch you with my arm. See this? This is my whole torso and all my body weight using my momentum and the strength of my whole body to produce the force for the punch. So that's what we want to work on. If you're just going like this, which I see people doing in boxing classes, they're like throwing their arms all around. And well, no wonder why your shoulders hurt, because you're just throwing your arms and you don't understand how to generate that power from your center. So arms are here. And if you're using gloves and wraps, if you're actually hitting something, I absolutely would recommend that you wrap and get someone to help you with that, and that you use a glove to help with padding, because if you're hitting something, I promise, it will start to wear down the skin on your knuckles and on your fingers, and that gets kind of uncomfortable and ugly and bloody, depending on how hard you're hitting. So just for shadow boxing purposes, we're going to keep our abs tight, our chest lifted, our arms and head tucked. Okay, this is the boxing way. You never want to leave everything open. You want to pull it in. Now, in the jab, again, I'm imagining there's something in front of me that I'm going to push away. You want to make sure that you strike with the flat part of your fingers. You're not hitting with your knuckles, and you're not bending your wrist. The biggest injury in boxing besides shoulders is wrist, because people do this. Okay, I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to make a fist and grip all these muscles together so that this doesn't move. This becomes now one unit. And from this position, where my shoulders are square to you, I'm going to use a twist motion of my upper body while I strike using the flat part of my hand. So I'm striking and coming back, all right? But the power comes from this twist. So I'm punching and coming back. My feet aren't necessarily moving, but you want to make sure that your back foot heel is off the ground. So jab and come back, jab and come back. Notice if I want to hit harder, I'm going to twist a little further. I'm going to throw my body weight, because my body weight produces the strength, not my arm. So it should never look like this. That's puny. So it doesn't matter how big your arms are or how strong your muscles are in your arms. A little person can generate a lot of force if you channel it through your torso. Punch and come back. Jab, come back. Jab and come back. Now, when I switch sides, same thing. Switch legs, switch arms, switch the way my position is, and I'm now going to jab with this hand. Most of the time, everybody has a strong side, and other people like to emphasize that. I like to train people to be balanced and learn how to do everything on both sides. So this jab, remember, is something that you can walk with it, you can defend with it, you prep with it to do the takeout punch, which we'll do next week. So enjoy your jabbing.